I was about 9 or 10 years old when my family abruptly stopped visiting my maternal grandmother, whom I affectionately called Nana at the time. For a while, I didn't notice the absence of our visits. When I did, I simply accepted it without much thought. I think even at that young age, I understood that whatever had happened between my mother and Nana was serious. Looking back, I realized it was more than just an innocent oversight. I didn't press my mother for answers because I was scared. The idea of a mother and daughter cutting each other off felt unthinkable to me, especially since my mom and I were so close. I compartmentalized it, something kids do surprisingly well when faced with the uncomfortable. As the years passed, I learned bits and pieces of the truth. My mom and Nana had a falling out. A vicious, no-holds-barred argument. The details were murky, but what I gathered was that their relationship had always been strained. My mom never went into specifics, and anytime I tried to bring it up, the conversation would leave her visibly shaken, on the verge of tears. It was painful to watch, so I stopped asking. By the time I was a teenager, any lingering affection I had for Nana had faded. Whatever she had done, it was enough to leave my mom heartbroken. That was reason enough for me to feel nothing but disdain. Blood ties didn't matter to me if they came with that kind of pain. I put Nana out of my mind, content to leave her as a distant, painful memory. Then, one November day in 2017, everything changed. My mom called me with unexpected news Nana was dying. If I wanted to see her, I had to act fast. The news stirred something in me, a mix of curiosity and reluctance. I was torn. Should I visit? Would it even matter after all these years? What came next knocked the wind out of me. When I asked where Nana was, expecting the name of a nursing home or hospice, my mom hesitated. Finally, she said, "She's in a facility in Burlington." The name didn't register at first, but then she added, "Chittenden Correctional Facility." Nana was in prison. I felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. My mind raced, grasping for words that wouldn't come. I sat down, stunned into silence. After what felt like an eternity, I asked my mom to explain everything. What followed was a story more surreal than anything I could have imagined. My mom described her childhood, painting a picture of emotional abuse that was calculated rather than chaotic. Nana wasn't just difficult, she was cruel in a cold, methodical way. My mom endured it for years before finally cutting ties around the time I was born. But before that break, Nana had tried to change. Or so it seemed. For the first decade of my life, we visited Nana regularly. She came to our house, or we went to hers, playing the role of the doting grandmother. It wasn't perfect, but it worked. Then, one day, everything unraveled. My mom received a call from a man claiming to be Nana's lawyer. The charges? Solicitation to commit murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and accessory to murder. The words didn't seem real. My mind conjured up images of TV dramas, not my grandmother. But the reality was far from fiction. Nana had been locked in a bitter feud with her neighbors, a young couple with 2 small children. No one knew exactly what sparked the animosity, but instead of resolving it through typical means, Nana plotted something sinister. She went online and searched for ways to hire a hitman. Her lack of tech savviness might have been comical if the situation weren't so horrifying. She eventually found herself corresponding with someone who claimed to run a covert business in contract killings. Nana was ready to drain her life savings to have the entire family, parents and children, eliminated in the most brutal way possible. What Nana didn't know was that she had been communicating with an undercover cop the whole time. The sting operation was swift and efficient, and Nana was arrested before she could put her gruesome plan into motion. The charges were severe, and when my mom learned that bail was set at $500,000, she knew just how serious things were. Hearing all this, I felt a strange mix of horror and disbelief. This wasn't the Nana I remembered, the one who baked cookies and told stories. This was a woman capable of monstrous things. My mom's voice trembled as she recounted the details, and I realized just how deeply Nana's actions had scarred her. Despite everything, I considered visiting Nana one last time. Maybe there was a chance for closure, a way to reconcile the person I thought she was with the reality of her crimes. But in the end, I couldn't do it. The image of her plotting such a heinous act was too much to bear. A month later, we received word that Nana had passed away in prison. Her final words were about leaving her belongings to a fellow inmate, with no mention of her family. It was a fitting end for a woman who had caused so much pain. Sometimes I wonder what might have happened if I had visited. Would she have recognized me? Would I have recognized her? Probably not. The person she had become was a stranger, one I was content never to meet. The legacy she left behind was one of pain and betrayal, and that's how I'll remember her. Not as the loving grandmother I once thought I knew, but as a cautionary tale about the darkness that can lurk behind even the most familiar faces.